Hello, my name is Josh Atkinson, and you have once again stumbled upon my oil painting YouTube channel. But before I get started with today's painting, I'm going to ask everybody to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell just to help out with the algorithm. Alright, so today I will be showing you how I arrived at this painting. Um, it is my second abstraction. Oh, you can see the first, and now the second of Elon Musk. It is, his likeness is a little bit more preserved, but then I kind of bring in his features in other places in the canvas and just I don't know, just do weird things and try to repeat a motif that I found. I'll talk about all of that during the time lapse.
Okay, so here's our source photo, Elon's, face. And now the time lapse. And here's a failed residue of a Biden. So spoiler alert, that's who you'll be seeing next week. Okay, so let's see. I painted this, I finished this March 17th. God, this is already 2 months old. So I'm just going in. I guess I haven't even now figured out if you should like start with a big swing abstraction in the kind of block-in stage. Because if you're new here, I don't paint alla prima because I just don't understand how. I find that oil paint tends to get, you know, uh, too much builds up on the surface, and you just can't get any more paint down at a certain point. So I have to paint in several sittings. But with this one, he almost looks a bit like Tim Curry doing Frankenfurter at this point, but you know, he doesn't deserve Tim Curry in as Frankenfurter, pivotal role model in my in my adolescence. Um, but um, but so yeah, I still don't know if you should go in if you're doing abstract portraits, if you should go crazy with abstraction right from the jump, or if you should like right now I'm kind of more so trying to get a likeness in my current paintings, not in the one that you're watching, at the beginning, and then deviate from it more so as I go further in. Because I think as we watch this time lapse together, because I haven't watched this in probably 2 months either, um, you'll probably see me trying to rein it back in a bit, try to get the likeness a bit clearer. Because I still don't know. I haven't found. If you are new here, please do like and subscribe. But my goal is to have abstract portraits where the likeness is still kind of recognizable. At least that's been my goal. I have done some, like, quite a few at this point, quite a few portraits that you'll see in the coming months where the likeness is absolutely lost. And I'm okay with it because what I find instead is very exciting. So, I don't know. But if you're painting a public figure, there's a certain pressure to maintain the likeness. So, I don't know. And then there's the big question of what is abstraction? How does one abstract? Last week we talked about caricature as opposed to abstraction, and how caricature, you distort features with the aim of um uh the distortion serves to make the subject more recognizable, and abstraction, you do not. It can do that theoretically, but you're certainly not beholden to getting a good likeness. But so with this one, I see in the wrinkles in his forehead and these, I don't know exactly if there's a word for it, but this kind of like smirk that he's doing, this like, I call it his unaccountability smirk. Um, he does it in every single interview where people ask him if he regrets getting into politics now. Um, uh, it's creating these little uh, jowl wrinkles by his jawline. So I just noticed those wrinkles, skin folds, whatever you want to call them, and I kind of thought, oh, well, maybe since that's a repeating feature on his face, maybe I can bring that into other places on the surface of the painting. So I just kind of start bringing in these cascading, I don't know, I have no idea what to call it, but just these flesh colored things, these swoops and wrinkles and angles and stuff. I'm not being super precious with, uh, like getting the parts of his face that are, the likeness is enough, but I'm not trying to make him look like super realistic. Like I've thought a lot about like the difference between like surrealist art like Dali and Magritte as opposed to abstract art like with Picasso or with Francis Bacon. And I think part of the difference, this is a very recent thought, it's actually more relevant to paintings that I've been working on just this weekend that you guys won't be seeing for a while. Sorry about it, but just I'll try to articulate it as best I can with a half-formed thought. I think that with surrealism, you can distort form, anatomy, but if you render it with a goal of making it look as though it is something that exists, as though it's something that you painted from life. It looks as it's surrealism, meaning that it is rendered for realism. The shading is full realism style, but the actual structure, the anatomy of the subject of whatever you're painting, is clearly something that could not exist in real life. So, like, the melting clocks in the persistence of memory, that's the most famous surrealist painting. So, um, I think with abstraction, you kind of don't want to go as uh, fine, as refined as that. You kind of want things to look a little rougher. Make sure people remember, like, this is a painting. I know it's a painting. You know it's a painting. To, I think you kind of want people to see brushstrokes and loose, unrefined areas. So anyway, these are my thoughts on abstraction, and this is my second Elon Musk. You can see I've got some cheekbone, forehead areas that are just not entirely resolved, and that's by design. So here are some detail shots. It's a 9 by 12-inch oil painting on a canvas panel.
So then, yes, that is how I arrived at this portrait of Elon Musk, abstract, of course. Um, you can see the first one, I kind of winged it in terms of abstracting his features. This time I found this repeated motif in the wrinkles of his forehead and these folds of skin in his sort of jowl area, and I started to just exaggerating them and repeating them and just moving, I don't know, folds of flesh and brought his eyes somewhere else. And I don't know, I still don't have like a how-to when it comes to abstraction, and his face isn't terribly truly abstracted here beyond the fact that I put a partial face in another part of the canvas. I mean, his eye is at an angle, but beyond that, it's just kind of um, not super refined, but I'm still going to go ahead and call this abstract. But so anyway, yeah, this is where we are, and this is the first in a series of paintings very much in this style that we will be seeing on this channel of oligarchs, politicians, the people who are running the show right now. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you to the 36 or 7 new subscribers this week. It's been a lovely week for getting new subscribers and engaging with some of you about politics and talking about stuff and art, and it's all been edifying and cool. So yeah, trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So feel free to subscribe. That would be amazing. If you haven't, I've got more than a year and a half of once a week videos. Last week we did a caricature as opposed to an abstraction on this channel of Mr. Musk. So yeah, I will see you in 7 days with an abstract Democrat who is also responsible for many, many horrible things. And so you have that to look forward to. I will see you then in 7 days. enjoy things until then, and seriously, please do try to tell your friends and family members to call their senators about the big, beautiful bill that is going to be cutting Medicaid, cutting Medicare, cutting SNAP benefits, cutting heating assistance, allowing us to drill oil in national parks, getting rid of uh, AI protections for 10 years or something. Like there are limitless bad things in this bill. So, and the no tax on tips thing, that's just so that like executives on Wall Street can call their bonuses tips and not pay taxes on them. So it's all bad. Call your senators. Okay. I'll see you in 7 days. Bye bye.